Oi.
Nice and slow.
Oi. What is Eater doing? You got that swollen eye.
Of course.
Orland's Cradle, named by Red Saren settlers who came upon the mushrooms in the forest. This thick, fat fungus grows along the base of larger trees.
Huh.
Dropping frames again.
Keeping quiet.
Grappling hooks can be used to anchor a rope to locations that may be hard to reach by foot. Though often used to scale high walls, they may have potential applications. The usefulness of the rope is limited by the imagination of the adventurer carrying it. Oh, we better just camp here then.
Yeah.
There, that one. Get that one. Really? Where's the freaking bear? Ooh. Drana's Grimoire. What does that mean? Oh, the this is ridiculous. I think it's YouTube. This is kind of crazy. All these drop frames and shit. You find a new grimoire. Grimoires often contain spells that your wizards may not know. For a small cost, you can learn those spells from the description panel. You may also fill additional grimoires with different spells. Place them in your wizard's quick item slots to switch them. But be careful, switching grimoires will temporarily lock wizards out of spellcasting for several seconds. Okay. Ludrana's orders. It seems to have no choice but to provide you with instruction. Redrick's forces have spread thin, and the road through the wilds to the south of Gilded Vale lies unguarded. Given these unfavorable circumstances, I'm sure that even you can manage to handle a peasant or two. The archers tell me that Colt's men made south after their escape. If you happen to retrieve one of their number, I may be convinced to forgive your previous mistakes. For the last time, you are to keep clear of Defiance Bay. Know that if you cannot be trusted to acquire a useful specimen with even a mediocre of discretion, I have no qualms whatsoever about using what materials I have at my disposal instead. Oh. Problem with the priest here is the priest is more of a melee character.
I shall.
Yeah. Saw you in the flames.
West of Voodoo Vale, south to Onslaught Compass, east to Black Meadow. A statue of Magron, goddess of war and flame. Dozens of names have been scratched into the stone at her feet, supplicants seeking her blessing. Squatting at the base of the statue is an incredibly ugly man with bulging red cheeks raked by pox scars and scraggly beard. He's sweating, as if he has a fever, but his breathing is measured and steady, like a slow push of a blacksmith's bellows. But that comparison feels strange and unwelcome. The next comparison, possibly sparked by his grin, is that of a bear trap, and then out of nowhere there's a hint of alchemical fire that fades almost as soon as you identify the smell.
Come to pray at the statue?
The question mark is barely there as the man makes that statement. The statue takes on a reddish cast, as if one is holding a torch to it, then slowly blossom into waving flames. The man doesn't turn as the statue blossoms into fire.
The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway.
His face tense with his iron bear trap smile, ready to spring.
I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow. If that's enough of a promise for you. If not...
The staff rests easily in his hand. It wasn't there a moment ago. Study the man. The sudden weaving flames from the statue of Magron cast more light on his feature. The man's robes are dirty, stained with grease, with other marks off the road. The hems of his robes, including the sleeves, are burned at the edges, as if he walked a great distance across a fire, then reached into the flames with his hands to pull something out. But while his hands are thick and callous, they bear no burn or scorch marks. Examine the statue. The weaving firelight from the statue gives off no heat, so much so you wonder if it is some trick of the mind. The ugly man before you doesn't seem to notice it or feel it, although the sheen on his brow is still present, as if he's burning up from within. Focus your gaze on the staff. The staff looks thick, stout, or blackened, of blackened ash once burned by a terrible fire. Beneath the ash, the lines in the wood bear shapes and patterns, and there is a certainty the staff was once something far more dangerous, but not now. As you study it deeper, it shimmers slightly in your eyes, like water catching the light weaving across the statue. Whatever power was bled from the staff, it doesn't make it or the wielder any less dangerous. You look up to see the man watching you studying the staff. As his gaze meets yours, he nods with humorless smile. I didn't catch your name or why you want to speak with me.
I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you're hailed from, or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
What do you mean? Durance shakes his head, and his hand curls tightly on the staff. I can see the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away, one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own, watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours, all tightened up like a huntsman's knot.
You saw my soul in the flames.
There's things we can teach each other, if you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their muling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable.
He inhales, again giving you the impression of a blacksmith bellows, and he smiles almost proudly.
Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you.
What kind of marks?
Disease? Spirit wind? Both could have touched you, yet here you stand.
He stares at your face, then into your eyes, almost dully at first, then more intently.
As for disease, not all of us were close to water when the pox hit, but it's no longer a passenger in my flesh. It left its marks as well. But like flames, the pox doesn't strike twice, nor is it catching.
If your stone mistress there allows it, then come on.
Her? Don't fear her jealousy. Let us see what the road holds, Watcher.
Durance glances at the statue, then gives a low chuckle. His chuckle dies into a smile, a genuine one. Durance is a wizard, a priest. We have 2 priests now. Dang, I wasted money on the Avatar way. I see he's a priest that where's his stats? I guess Avatar can also just use use this. Yeah, so we can make those 2 stand in the back, 2 priests. Yeah, he doesn't want to be right in the front. It's funny.
What? What?
Right.
Christmas Eve. We met at that sad place.
What?
Though I felt your eyes on me. Thought I felt your eyes on me. Now come the words. I had questions I wanted to ask.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
Why were we supposed to meet? The why of it is you're a watcher, he snorts. A watcher runs 2 roads of why. For me, it's more a matter of what. There was a time when I wouldn't have spared a thought for your words, or even bothered with you, but now seeking out watchers is what I do. To put the truth to them, see which of the 2 ways they bend. He smiles slightly, taunting. Truth? What kind of truth? Either you're a dry field in need of a harvest burning, he frowns for a moment, his eyes flat, or you're lost in the darkness. Either way, you can see differently from others. He gives a half smile, then his tone becomes accusing. I can tell by the way you notice the staff first off. Not many can see it at first, nor the etchings or the flames, but your eyes. He stares at you, almost eagerly, nodding. Your eyes trace the path that I could see. So which are you, a dry field or a lost in darkness? Durance's face tenses. The day we don't trade that question back and forth is the day our paths no longer need to be joined. And the trial, Durance's hand clenches his staff. The trial is done. So you don't know either. You know this nation is diseased. Don't need to be a watcher to see it in the children, the politics, the men that stalk the roads with knives in hands and murder in their eyes. This land needs life again, new seeds planted in the burned soil. His voice drops, mocking, and his eyes narrow. And something tells me you can see the path to making that future happen, Watcher. Your kind always does. So then, we need to make sure you see truly now. This nation, its people, don't need more lies blinding them, nor do I. You test a truth, you don't blindly accept it. So then, we need to make sure you truly see truly now, the nation, its people. Don't need any more lies blinding them, nor do I. You test a truth, you don't blindly accept it. And how do you plan to test me? Sharing the road, of course. One truth to match another, matching each other's pace, keeping rhythm. Other priests can keep teaching and rantings. For my faith, my teaching. Sharing the road is a simple, hard truth. His smile widens and his hands tap against his waist. Once, then twice. And when you knock one truth against the leg of another, why, both legs stand firm. But now, if you strike a lie at the knee with the same force, his smile dies and his eyes narrow. Why, where you make a cripple with but one leg to stand on. Is that why you carry that staff? Is that why Durance is about to launch another volley of words, blinks, then he rolls his head back and laughs deeply. The laughter coming until it seems the air will run out of his lungs, until it seems forced. Perhaps your words are worth listening to, Watcher. He frowns, any trace of humor gone. But the truth will win out. Keep pace and we'll see. Let me ask you about something else.
The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little.
I wanted to ask about the region and its history. Durance grunts. Can you tell me about the Hollowborn?
That's a curse that runs deeper. It's a god hammer of a different sort. And like the god hammer, it was made by men's hands.
All things have a price. Left unchecked, faithless, virtues, it leaves marks on souls. Until souls don't have the strength to enter bodies that are pure. Animancers, ciphers, all who play games with the fabric of souls are to blame for the barren field they leave behind. Durance glares at you. Even watchers can do the same. Some simply watch. Others try to weave souls, guide them as surely as Wade went across Yvonne Dare. He turns away. This is why I correct the hollowborn when I find them, and the ones whose hands have led to this seed being spilled on the ground. Correct the hollowborn?
There are fewer souls. There are more vessels. It is simply equaling of the process.
So it doesn't bother you to end them?
I feel more remorse in putting down a slathering hound. A wict, less than a mongrel in its misery. Murder is a kindness, not a crime. Always has been. I would sooner put the blame to those who are to blame instead. If any spirit should be punished, it's theirs.
And who's to blame? The fields of the deerwood are filled with weakness, ripe for those that play with souls, minds. His face wrinkles in a frown. Animancers and their kind, watchers, too. They bear more of the burden than their victims, and more of the punishment. Every year has seen a new crime. The Saints' War, the Hollowborn, the Salvation. There's no proof watchers are to blame for these events. There are few who can shape a soul in such a fashion. Durance stares at you. And any watcher, any true watcher born in the Deerwood, would be able to see the crime even if they did not cause it. Silence itself is damning. Why don't you end me then?
Murder you? I would not grant you any of them. The mercy I grant the Hollowborn. You would not be deserving of it.
You'd equate murder with mercy?
Murder is an old world. Mercy is letting a soul fly free to the next body. True punishment? Ruining someone to their soul. Crack their spirit like you would crack their skulls with a staff. Beat them. Hurt them in mind and body. So their souls become shards. But you leave it inside the vessel. Like a bag of glass. To either choke on it. Or pass it through their bloody stool. Then, leave it in the body to think on it. Like planting a new field with the right seed.
That sounds like you've committed it to memory.
Many marks may I make upon your flesh, but flame leaves marks that cannot heal. Margaret doctrine dictates true punishment is one that remains in memory, in the soul, in the flesh. Even should the victims die, slowly or swift, sometimes by their own hand afterwards, the lesson lingers, burned in their flesh.
That seems harsh.
Have you seen a man branded by flame? He remembers it always, in every waking movement. It is a lesson writ in the only ink and vellum that matters, blood and flesh. One can burn the soul as well. It is an art, and I do not take pleasure in it. But there is more at stake here than forgiveness. Many of Aethys' faith were punished in the purges following the Saints' War. And the ones that harmed children, they suffered worse.
What do you mean?
We did what must be done. Wherever they were rooted out, their souls reclaimed. And if they couldn't be reclaimed, we ensured they would never inhabit another body.
I wanted to ask about the Regent's history. Do you think there's a tie between the Hollowborn and the Godhammer?
Aethys was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on the dear wood. I've heard some claim it's his doing, his death. It's closed the halls to new souls. I doubt it. The Hollowborn have their roots in the acts of men, women. I feel it.
Keep troubling me, and I may extend it a tithe bowl for each question. Enough questions for now. Let the road keeps us until the next campfire. Oh, he doesn't want to talk anymore? Wow.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
Are you a servant of Whale? Let mysteries and questions remain with him, at least until the next time we rest. Wait, what?
What? If doubts and curiosity...
He doesn't want to talk anymore. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Almost as interesting as this drop frames that I'm having. I think I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna try and stream to Twitch. I'm getting drop frames, just to determine if this is a YouTube issue or it's just my internet. So.